So first question, don't record.
Yeah, we are recording, Corey. Hi everyone.
Not recording yet. Oh, you are recording.
So
okay, start.
We have to start for our little armor outside because it's too loud there inside, and I don't know if guys can answer all our questions right now, but we will try to clarify the most important for first.
We exercised in Russian already, so I think in English we will.
You already
we will
have
fight.
a.
Yeah.
So let's start. I think we will start. Probably the most interesting part is for most when the update comes. Yeah, I know you.
When Moon, when Lambo.
When Lambo. Okay, I think.
Understood. So the update, the demo is already here, so we will try to show it afterwards on the Gamescom. Perhaps we can film it also a little bit. As you know, there are always theoretically deadlines, but in the practice, practically, there are problems that comes from nowhere. Like for example here, we cannot start the game because Mapbox doesn't load. I don't know why. Just don't ask me why. We wanted to show it or we have to present it. But yeah, the guys are working. You saw it, and yeah. So this is the demo, and the update will be released directly after this. So normally it should be this week, plus minus.
Okay, so we're talking now. Right now, it's not uploaded yet. So it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
So that's just for people because many are asking to repair, not repair, what to do. So that means you're working still on this, and you want to upload this.
Yes.
Let's say in this week.
Yes.
And then we have to wait for Apple. You want to probably release it together?
We would like to release it directly together because of the backend. It will be also switched. So even if we upload it this week, I think, to be honest, it would be perhaps next week it will be on. So it doesn't.
So farm, collect the next 2 weeks. Okay.
But we will speed up.
Okay, yeah. It's going. So that was the first thing. The second question is probably how do you expect to make a transfer of old farms to new farms?
Migration.
Yeah, the migration to the new game. So how it will be? It will stop. The mining will stop for some time, or it will directly go like you update it, we update the game, and we can, as soon as it is updated, buy the farms and they are working, or what?
So what we thought is because new farms, they are completely different than the old. Yeah, they have another logic. They have already prepared components like production rate and life quality and so on, but it will be later. So right now what we will do, we will convert all all your investments into money, so into WPT. All things that were mined by you can just withdraw, as I said, but the things, so the money that was invested into digital assets will be kept in the game. So, for example, you own, I don't know, 10 farms, you bought them for 500 WPTs, you repaired them, you invested for upgrades, that all will count in totally all the coins that you spend, and then it will be transferred to your balance, and with this balance you can buy new.
So
the all farms will
get farm prices, the upgrades, and the repair cost also.
You will get all the sum that is invested in upgrade.
Yeah, that's what mining and upgrade, but not repair cost?
So all the
What you own?
the definition is as we discussed, everything that you invested into the farms you will get out. So
Still not clear. What about repair cost? Do you think there will be also? I mean, honestly, I don't think that's
you
really right there.
I thought that all things that were invested will be
Okay,
paid
we'll
out.
let it on this point.
But this is
So with when the new game is here, there will be the new farms, and it says it has like I don't know, name Alex or whatever. It has some yield, like 10%, 25%, 50%. What does it say? Where does it come from? What does the calculation mean?
It's the maximum capacity that it can mine out of the pool. So the maximum that it can get out of the pool. So even if you upgrade it, for example, to level 10, the maximum of the small farm will be 20%. This is the maximum that it gets out of the...
So it starts from 10%.
So if the total pool is in the beginning 30 million, and the Alex farms are like 10%, that means that all Alex farms together get the coins from the 3 million.
It's more complicated, the algorithm. So we will form a daily pool. And this daily pool is depending out of the amount of all farms that exist in the world. So, for example, if you have, I don't know, 10,000 different farms, we will make 3 threads, like for the little farm, the middle farm, the big one. And these threads, they can mine them 10%. So it might even happen, for example, if there is only one little farm, and for example 100 big farms. Theoretically, it won't be the practice, but theoretically, you will get more from the smaller farm than from the bigger. This is only the theoretical.
So these are separate pools.
Yeah, these are.
That would be the next question. So if for each farm is separate. So for example, I don't know, 20% for the little one, 20% for the, and depending how much of the farm exists, you will get it. Are there is there any limitation on farms what you expect them? They will say, I don't know, there will be just 200 big farms and 500 little farms, or it will go on as they say.
So it's there are limitations on your level, on the level of a player. But,
experience level.
Experience level, and these are your limitations, and they are limited because of the ground. So if you don't have hexagons, you cannot build. So I think you will have automatically limitations out of the game. So we don't have to limit it.
Well, that means in 1 year that could be 1,000 farms theoretically, and the income will go down probably if you don't stock up the pool.
The pool is calculated to grow to a maximum of 60 million, but it also depends on the amount of players. So I think what we could do, but it wasn't really discussed. So this is also a question what we're thinking about. When we see that there is a disbalance, cryptologs and makers, and we cannot fill up the pool fast, then we will have to limit the amount of farms. But right now it's not the problem.
The most important thing is buying hexagons. Can you explain how that works? And what is the limit? And what do we start with?
So as we told, the hexagons are limited. You have a daily limitation, and but we counted the limitation so that you can build at least one building per day, because otherwise it will be boring. So I don't know exactly the number right now in my head, but I think the little farm has something about 26, 27 hex. So this will be the limit, your daily limit. And buying is like just clicking and you buy the hexagon. But there is a more complexity inside, because each hexagon has a resource. And you don't know the resource until you bought it. So if you, it might happen that you go to the crime completely, because there is a crime inside, and you will only produce crime cash, strip clubs, your workers will work in a prison, you will have a life quality building like drug labs and so on and so on. But at the end, this will be your life quality. So the drug lab, for example, improves the life quality of your hexagons, of the territory, and it has also an influence on the production rate of the farm. So, but some guys will have, for example, I don't know, scientists or researchers as a resource. Some of them will have another one. So we plan up to 10 different resources, and this makes the game interesting for the makers, because these are the guys that play only with these resources. Yeah, because they don't know nothing about crypto, and otherwise the entry barrier will be too high.
Okay, so when we talk, the price of hexagon will be one
WPT, and we have 18 numbers after the comma. So you will notice the, I don't know, 10001 after the game has sold 1 million. I don't know how much.
A short question to hexagons. For example, this 28 or 27 hexagons or whatever per day. If I didn't bought it today, are they adding tomorrow? Or tomorrow I have exactly. So if I missed it, I missed it. Okay.
Hard.
So whatever everyone wants to know about the hexes, is it important to have your hexes in the big cities where a lot of people are walking or not?
No, it's not important, and you can buy them everywhere where you want, theoretically, but there will be some augmented reality functions, for example, for decoration of the hexes, for decoration of your building. So when you buy it, for example, in, I don't know, Antarctica, Tokyo, whatever, then you will get problems with decoration. So we invented for lazy guys and for guys like Keys who have a lot of money inside the game. We invented the drone, so you can send the drone to your territory, but it will cost money. So you should buy, of course, in the territory where you are. But you never know what is on your hex, so it doesn't make any. So it's you perhaps.
But I've heard before that it's important how many people are walking by.
Yes,
for the income.
Yes.
This is if you place your buildings, for example, on Manhattan, it's remote traffic, and if you place some advertise on your building, so place.
But this we are talking about functions that will come next year, because right now we don't have the advertising support on the buildings. But this is what I mean. It's all when we introduce augmented reality into the game, and you use it, for example, for advertising on your buildings, then of course the traffic will make sense, and but these are all additional functions.
So about the drones, you say they are expensive. Do you have one drone, or do you need one drone for every building or every city? Or?
You will need drone for every time. So every time you send a drone, the drone will make only one thing, and it will come back. That's all.
Okay, so we pay for each action of drone separately.
Or you use your feet, walk, and
Walk to Manhattan.
yes, or you don't buy simply hexagons in Manhattan if you don't live.
Or you rent it, right?
Or you rent.
And there we go.
Or you can attract people from this country to make buildings on your hexes.
Yeah, so we buy it and rent it to them, so they can go to food. Okay, there we are by renting. Will the rent what makers pay for cryptos for hexes with a fixed amount, or do we
The
make
makers
the
don't
prices?
wait. The makers don't pay anything to you. They don't pay anything. You buy, for example, 10 hexagons, and you have to give them for free 30% of your land. But
You have to
you
give 30%
you have
of
to
your
give. Yes,
important.
if you don't want to give them.
Yes.
So if you want to be a maker and a crypto lord in one person,
Yeah.
you can be this, but you will pay. So if nobody will work on your land, you will pay taxes for your land. Because otherwise the game has a problem and it cannot grow if everybody will use its own land and play itself. So if you have to decide, either you are a crypto lord or you are a maker. So
You can be both.
You can be both, but then you have to pay.
Or you have to pay. We have to give away 30% of your hexes for free.
But
to
you can
use for
find
use.
a way to play on both sides.
But on this 30% that I give
On
away,
this-
if someone builds something and has income, we will get some percentage.
He has no income in WPT. He has you need this guy, you need maker to improve the life quality, which has an influence on the production rate of a farm. So basically, you need the maker. Because if he doesn't work, then you have no problem. So he will build up life quality buildings and to support your production.
So
Okay, and they get resources, right?
They get resources.
Do they give us some resources?
Yes, they have profits, of course, but profits in resources.
Yeah, well, okay, it doesn't mean in WPT
yes,
or in
W,
resources, but we get something for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be also some fixed amount that we get, like, I don't know, 1% of each resource income.
So what about, you told there's a workaround being a maker and crypto lord. What about multi-accounting? Is that allowed? That people...
No, it's not a multi-account, so you can play with your account as well. But we see, of course, if someone else is playing on your ground or not. Of course, if you have two devices, well, then do it. I mean, it's your point, but it's more interesting if you have a lot of makers on your ground, and as you want, as everybody.
It's our game.
So you are creative guys, I know, and you will find a lot of ways, and you will produce a lot of work for us, but yeah, it's another topic.
Then we come in the area of cheating. How do you prevent that? Like we know the GPS spoofing, for example, in the air miner. How do you control that? Will you block it, or will you just ban the guys who use it?
Of course, with each update we have our bug bounty and bug bot, and as I told to some guys already, there are a lot of security topics. So we will take an out time after the whole migration, after Gamescom and so on, after I think second, third round or something like this, and we will invest the whole time, 2-3 weeks, only in security. So you won't see any new features, nothing. We will introduce two-factor authentication. So there are a lot of guys, thanks by the way, reported a lot of good things into our bug bot, and there are really cool stuff that we have to work on. Yes.
What about AR, augmented reality? So what you say, for collecting the things and drone and so on. If I go there to feed, I have to turn on my AR, and that's the way how I collect.
The augmented reality in this game is more important for advertising purposes, for collecting some resources, for decorating. So it's a supportive feature, but it will come as the latest one, because right now we have a lot of other things.
Okay, but how we collect? How is this? If I don't want to send a drone, I go to feed there.
Yeah,
so how I collect? I need to be there and then just push collect.
Like right now.
Like now, but I have to be there. So in this area.
Yeah.
But without turning on augmented reality.
Yeah. Well. Yes.
So in the beginning, people from Air Miner will have farms, but they don't have hexagons yet. There's a backpack for. What is the maximum size and how much profit will it give? How does the backpack work?
So, as we told, what we want to do is the whole balance that you have invested into the buildings, into digital assets. You will receive it all completely back, but you cannot. So this money will be blocked in the game, so you can use it for game assets. Everything that you have mined, you can withdraw if you want, or keep it in the game, and then you can buy the farms. They will be placed in your backpack, and in the first version there is already a function where you can build the farm onto the hexagon. So the function is already there. And but of course, as you understand, it cannot work without internet, without power supply. So, but in order to keep the game kind of interesting, and for the first investors, you, we just thought making 50% of the production rate, it will just generate 50%. Yeah, but until we have the first chain, the whole loop, game loop introduced, then it will stop. Then you have to build up the whole loop in order your farm to produce. But it will not be like prompt, you know. It stops, so you will see, for example, we've introduced a power plant, then you build up a power plant, but it keeps mining, and then there is an internet, so you have to connect it, and so on. So very smooth.
Okay. Back to the hexes, I forgot to ask. What if I rented 30% to some player and like he was playing now 1 week?
And he doesn't.
And he doesn't now. How long do we have any deadline? Because the life quality will going down, right? For that, if he doesn't do anything.
No. Life quality has nothing to do with this, because if he builds up a building, for example, he. So this building has a positive or negative impact on your life quality. Yeah? But if he doesn't do anything, the building stands there and it needs to be repaired. You have to take care. So you can do it your own, because it's on your hexagon. You can do it if you want. Or another maker will do it, and if nobody will do it, then this building will get destroyed and the hex will be empty and you have to build a new one.
I don't clearly understand how, let's say Kiss is CryptoLord, I am a player, so he wrote some hexes, now I just downloaded the game, and I see, okay, here places that belong to Keys, but I can just go and build there, right?
Yeah.
So I build, but that's my building, right? If I build
Yes.
So how he can collect from our building or someone else? So how does it work? And then I built it. I played 1 week.
But
it's not interesting for me.
Yes,
it's,
but you
gets destroying.
Yes, but you of course you lost the time. But it will. Therefore, we need the destruction process because it will get destroyed completely and then it's empty.
Okay, when it's destroyed completely, the hex is again empty.
Or you pay and it gets destroyed immediately and then it's empty again.
But there will be some time limit, for example, if player doesn't do any action on the play, so
you
1 month?
You have right now, what happens if you don't repair your farm?
Yeah, it stops the production. But the slot is still, we can choose the slot.
Yeah.
So that means I rent from someone, I don't get money for that, I don't get resources
Yeah, but
for
in
that.
this
Someone is sitting on my hex and doing nothing.
Yes.
And I lose my, so my money. It's a bit weird.
This is of course a problem. So you have to take care because you are cryptonaut, you are mentor of this of the maker, and you have to push him somehow or whatever.
It's pretty difficult for me because I can push someone to play without. I mean, can I? Maybe there should be some contract. So if you in 1 month you have to, or I don't know, 1 month, 2 months or so, you have to sign it again or somehow.
In this case, it's not so important for you because he has built a life quality building. It has an impact on the life quality and of course on your production. Of course, if he doesn't care, the building gets destroyed. The life quality will have a negative impact on the production rate. You will mine less, sure. But what you can do if you see he doesn't play, you can destroy the building, for example, yourself and build up a new.
Yeah, but there should be some rules for destroying. You can't just maybe he's for 2 weeks in holidays or I don't know, and he says, oh no, I want to repair it, but
it gets, of course. This is what we are talking, balancing the game, and to be honest, we have to see it out of the whole game dynamic. I cannot answer this question completely precise. We have to balance it anyway.
We have to think about this because I think that's pretty important.
We just have to balance it. Yeah. So we will see. What we already
don't forget that we attract simple gamers too.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah. Okay. We will. I think that will be maybe discussed in community.
To find your hexes with crypto.
So normally, in my opinion, it shouldn't be a very big problem. We will balance it, and what we already have discussed in the main concept is, for example, if the guy just plays on wrong hexes build where you didn't want it to.
Yeah.
So you can you have 3 options you can remove. So this is for the first time until we have an experience and until we have a data and we see what is their behavior, how they work, does it make sense or not, and then we will adjust it.
What a lot of people want to know is the tokens what are bought in the pre-sale. When are they gonna be unlocked or released? Or?
So the unlock period, as I told also today a lot of times, there is also kind of a balance. Yeah, because we want to go on exchanges, and exchange needs some supply. It needs some volume to be generated. So we have to unlock it anyway, but also not too much because there are a lot of bounty guys. They will be happy about getting less money for that. They will just sell it on some exchanges like, I don't know, Ada Delta or something like this. So here we have to keep it also in balance. To answer your question, I think it will be done after we have a volume, big volume, about 13 millions, and when we reach this volume, we will unlock this. So when would it be? You can just calculate the table, the CCO, and we already sold a lot of tokens. So I think it will be in around, like, I don't know, 5, 6, I don't know. I'm not sure about. You have the numbers.
After 4 rounds.
Yeah, four or five rounds, something like that.
So it's game round, and then after that, we announce web version.
So we talk about exchanges. Can you already say something about these exchanges?
Yes, we are already in negotiation with them, and there are a few big ones, there are a few small ones. I think for the big ones we are not ready right now, but they would list us also. We would go for the middle ones, and we will try to list our token on 2 or 3 exchanges. So it's already in progress, but we have of course also our homework. So we have to prepare a white paper, and
so it will take several weeks before we hit the exchange.
Yeah.
One more question to exchanges. We have, I think, in the new roadmap, we have some kind of exchange in December or January?
On the page on the website, token sale, it says in the 7th week that there is seventh round that it says exchanges.
Yes.
Does that mean we go in November to the exchange, or is that something?
Or is it internal exchange?
No. Fourth, fifth round, we will already try to get listed. So first of all, we will unlock the token, and then, we wrote 7th round that we are on exchange, but I think, and I hope it will be a bit earlier, but it isn't depending on us. We have to receive a slot. You know, you get a slot, you get a date. As soon as we receive this date, as soon as we are approved, we just communicate it, and then we will fix the road. But so far, roundabout, they told us it takes the whole procedure takes about 5 or 6 weeks. But it depends on exchange too.
Yes.
Okay. Now back to the game. One more question. So, what about buildings? Can we build more than one object at the same time, or it will be like, even if I have like 100 X's or so, I can build 4 buildings at the same time?
No. If you have enough hexes, you can build. Yes, there is only a limitation. So, for example, some buildings acquire a higher level of your token. Yeah? But there is, if you have enough hexes, then you can build all the day.
By the way, resources, how much? Which resources? Which kind of resources?
So right now we plan until November. We want to have 2 complete loops for Crypto Lord and for the Maker. The Maker will get 3 resources. It will be the dirty cash, so Prime. It will be our qubit resource, and brainers. So these are scientists, and so.
And for what they are? So what they will influence for what?
Yeah. So different resources produce different, of course, resources. Yeah. So if you want, for example, to build up a power plant, you need I don't know, few of this, few of this, few of this. You have to collect. So
for each building, you will need all 3 resources.
Yeah,
right?
but
in different
in different amounts,
proportions,
different conditions. Yeah.
What ways do you have planned to attract mass attention to the game?
Yes. So first of all, in this concept, and this is the uniqueness, you have to, the Crypto Lord has to also invest something to attract makers to his land. Yeah. So the best thing on this concept is that you guys have to make advertisement for your land, because you want to attract makers so that they improve your life quality and so on and so on. So you have to be creative. You have to design your hexes. You have to, I don't know, make some pictures, throw it on Instagram, whatever you want. Yeah? So there are a lot of different possibilities, and we will also supply some graphic materials that you can download and use. This is the first positive thing. So you produce work for us and we produce work for you. So this is the first thing. And the next thing, of course, we will try as soon as we have complete the whole loop with 3 resources for the makers. We will just make a roadshow in different conferences and booths. For example, the next one would be Tokyo, but still I haven't got 100% confirmation, and I hope it won't be the same as with the Gamescom here. That I receive it in 11 days before the start. And yeah, so after this we have one conference in Amsterdam on 29th of September, and it depends. So we have a lot of things, and yeah, we will join. Yeah, we will just be present wherever we go.
Back to resources, do the crypto lords also need these resources for building farms or whatever?
Not necessarily, but you need this for live quality and for your production. So
and we can buy them from
you can buy them.
makers maybe.
Yes,
for
yes.
WPT we can just buy if I want.
You can, so the makers will trade the resources between themselves, but resource against resource.
Yes.
No WPT, they don't understand WPT. It's difficult for them. But you can buy, for example, resources from another crypto lord. For example, you have Prime Cash, yeah, because you have a lot of strip clubs, and he has a lot of scientists. But you need for your makers and for whatever you need another resource. You can buy them or exchange.
Little, it's just another thing. Can we somehow put our logos or personal pictures?
Yes, you
Sound
can.
then?
Yes,
Upload
yes. So
or whatever?
in the attention in the first release, it's not possible. So in the first release, you can only decorate and style your hexagon with some paintings. So blue, yellow, red. After this, we want to introduce, if you have some area, but it's more complicated technically, so that we cluster your hexagons and you can upload, for example, a logo onto it and so on.
Sounds cool.
And by the way, this was also asked from an advertising partner from us if we can distribute the logo, and it would be also very cool for Tokenomics because, for example, he would pay us in fiat, and we could give it to crypto lords, and those guys who place the advertising on their ground, they will receive some percent, for example, in WPT or so. But this is additional features that will come later.
So that's directly a question about the other crypto besides WPT. Where does this income come from?
Yeah.
All the altcoins, BTC.
Yes, but this is the same principle as with the mining pool. Yeah, so the mining pool fills out of the. So we receive in-app purchases, commissions, whatever, and we buy WPT and fill the pool. It's the same. We will just convert.
So you will just buy on exchange, you will buy Ethereum or BTC or whatever and convert it. Okay.
So this morning you had a meeting with Hasbro. How did it go? Can you tell something already about it?
I can already tell something about it. So, but you have to understand, of course, that it's a very, very big company, and there are a lot of. So, in short, it's very positive. They would like to cooperate with us. There is only, not only the thing is, they are public company on stock exchanges, and they have a very strict compliance rules, and in this case, also the brand has its own compliance rules. So there are some things that have to be discussed. So there is no violence at all is permitted, for example. They are not sure about, for example, we are talking about strip clubs and crimes and so on because we think it's funny. But I don't know what compliance from Hasbro will say us about this version, for example. If we have to adapt it or not, another question. So there are a lot of questions to be discussed. Also, crypto and blockchain topic for them is very new. They don't know about it. They have SEC, of course. You have to understand
but
it.
And don't stop you from...
No, we continue. There are a lot of synergy effects anyway, and we will just move towards. We will talk to them. We will try to make a partnership. And but I can't say right now, and even they cannot say right now how much time it will take. They asked us about roadmap. They were not very lucky about that we released or that there is also an MVP online, and that we will release, of course, November, December. We will get more and more features. They told us it's too fast for them, but we will see.
By the way, violence. Can you disown the hexes, or it's like if I bought it, it's my?
It's your territory. Right now we didn't think about it, so if you can sell it to someone.
Okay. And violence destroying. Is it still actual that you can destroy the buildings?
This is violence. Violence is also piñata of our shark, of our Mr. Dopo. So we have to talk about it.
Yeah, but I mean, there was an idea in the beginning that you can destroy something, some action that would prevent it. Yeah.
So as I say, yes, no violence at all. So this is, for example, something that we will have to discuss internally. Yeah, if it's possible or not.
So what about clans? How important will be clans? We all know that you can buy, you can protect each other's property, but also you can buy miners together. What happens if someone wants to get out of the clan and you have things together?
Yes. So this is the most difficult topic, really, and of course, as we already talked about it, as we said, we have to discuss it also with you. We will make a lot of polls and votes for some functionality, but the clans are important because there are some exclusive buildings that can be only owned by the clans. For example, banks. Yeah. And only clans with some amount, for example, of members will be able to give rentals, or loans. How to say it in English? So this is, of course, important. So exclusive buildings.
So another question about our clan. Someone is concerned about our dominance. What measures are planned to offset the dominance of NWO by large numbers and insider knowledge?
Yes, this is a very, very good question. So first of all, of course, we have some, as I told, some investors. Also, a few of them, they are in your clans. They have invested a lot of money. So thanks for support, as I always say. But I think the limitations of Hexagons, limitations on your own level, a lot of limitations will prevent the game from inflation, and of dominance, that the normal player has an easy entry barrier into the game. So it's about balancing the game, and it's about levels and limitations.
So also preventing pay to win. Because otherwise,
also preventing pay to win. So not everything will be. For example, the Hexagons. You have money, you would like to buy it, but you cannot. Also, the bank. You have the money, you would like to buy it, but you cannot. You need at least you have to be a clan, and so on and so on and so on. But of course, the early investors, as in real life too, they will have profit or benefit, of course, more than the guy who will enter later. But we will try to balance the game also, that we can attract new players, and that the Hexagon won't cost $20 or $50 directly from the beginning.
Do we see on the website like hash rate or expected income every day?
We want
and you can check all these numbers on smart contract blockchain.
Okay, well, I think not everyone is experienced in smart contracts, so it would be nice if some even crypto wallets, but can just see what they can expect today, how much farms are already.
So we have
where is this info on the site?
Yes. So we will place it on the website, and we have some. I mean,
blockchain is only for trusting, so you can really go to the blockchain and check this info.
But attention, scam alert! We introduced a newspaper, a daily newspaper inside the app that you can buy also, and there you will get a little bit more info than you get on the website.
There we are, info.
Information costs money, guys. So.
Can we expect a little bit more communication and information next time? And what are you doing for this? Because
can we go? Well, yes. As you know, we are a small group of developers, and right now it doesn't matter if you are a developer or a CEO or whatever. Everybody had to take bags from Lufthansa cargo, and so we don't care who you are. We expand our team, and we hope to correct the communication as soon as possible. It's in the interest of all of us, of course. And right now we are looking for someone who will manage our social media campaigns and so on, because it's our weakness, to be honest.
We all believe in you, but sometimes we just need a bit of
as you see, for example, we are right now here and talking, and in chat something is happening. I even don't know what. Parallelly, we receive a lot of
maybe good to hire some community manager.
Yes, this is what we are looking for right now, like social media guy, girl, who will just be more active and.
Okay.
I think I'm out of questions.
Well, I think we have much more questions, but I think time is now limited. We got the first one. I hope after the first actions this today and the Gamescom is done, we will get a bit more, maybe on paper, maybe updated. So we are not going to force you, but don't forget about.
So let's make some video aimers, because they are more easy for us to answer it directly than typing hourly and so on and so on. And I think, of course, not everybody will watch this video, but perhaps we can make out a little protocol question.
That's not your problem then. So I think the rest of the other questions we will just go through these questions now, what you answer to the way, and then we will provide you, and maybe we will make them in more quiet atmosphere where questions maybe can be asked live, because we would like to stream this live, but it's just impossible with this network. So maybe when you are home or in office, we will make another one. Okay. And we are also step forward with upgrade. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.